If you think XRP is ISO 222 compliant, you've been misled. Not because XRP is weak, but because the entire narrative has been backwards. Everyone thinks ISO is some crypto whitelist, some secret certification, some magical switch that pumps coins. It's not. But what did happen is far more important. ISO 222 accidentally built the perfect battlefield for assets like XRP to dominate. And the banks who spent millions upgrading don't even realize it yet. Let me pull back the curtain and show you what is actually going on. This is Fintech Decrypt. Here's what 95% of people don't understand. ISO 222 is not a coin standard, a coin whitelist, a crypto certification, or a stamp of approval for XRP. ISO 222 is a messaging standard for financial systems, not assets, but systems. Think of the old banking world like this. SWIFT spoke one language, ACH spoke another, Fedwire had its own dialect. European banks used different structures. It was chaos, slow, error-prone, and brittle. ISO fixed that. It standardized how banks communicate. It unified the grammar of global money. Now they all speak. Richer data, cleaner metadata, purpose codes, smart compliance fields, automation-friendly formats, tokenization-compatible messages. And when SWIFT made ISO 222 mandatory for cross-border payments, that was the biggest messaging upgrade in 50 years. But here's the part no one ever tells you. ISO 222 upgraded how banks talk about money. It did not upgrade how banks move money. And that gap is the entire opportunity. Let me put you inside a bank boardroom. You've just spent years of planning, millions of dollars, and endless audits to migrate to ISO 222. JP Morgan alone spent $12 billion upgrading their systems. Your messaging is now finally fast, structured, real-time. But your settlement system? Slow, expensive, and trapped in correspondent chains dependent on nostro-vostro accounts built in the 1970s. Still settling in 2 to 3 days. And here's the crazy part. Banks now have messaging fast enough for instant payments, but their money still moves like dial-up internet. And if you're wondering why this matters, in 2022, a single typo in a SWIFT message cost Deutsche Bank $6 million. That's the old system. Even SWIFT admitted in 2024. ISO plus SWIFT GPI still cannot settle money globally in real time. Why? Because they upgraded the language, but they cannot upgrade the physics of correspondent banking. Liquidity traps, pre-funding, choke points, and delays. So, for the first time ever, banks are asking the dangerous question. If our messaging is instant, why isn't our settlement? This question is the fault line. This is where the financial system cracks open, and this is where XRP walks in. Let's clear this up forever. ISO 222 is not for coins. Coins do not become ISO compliant. Assets do not receive ISO certification. Systems do. And this is where Ripple changed the game. Ripple, the company, built global payment software that already speaks ISO 222. This includes RippleNet, ILP, ODL messaging, and the bank connectors. What that means is simple. Banks can integrate Ripple's technology directly into their new ISO 222 systems with zero friction. Now here's the key point. If, and only if, a bank wants real-time settlement, Ripple's on-demand liquidity uses XRP as the neutral bridge asset. So the actual relationship looks like this. ISO 222 provides the modern messaging. RippleNet provides the ISO native integration. And XRP provides the settlement layer for those rails. ISO did not choose XRP. But ISO created a world where XRP and the XRP ledger don't just plug in. They become one of the only systems engineered to operate at the speed, neutrality, and liquidity the new financial infrastructure demands. In a modern financial stack built for real-time value movement, XRP isn't just compatible, it's optimized. And that is the real truth. Let me show you what this looks like in reality. A bank in Thailand sent money to Mexico using Ripple's on-demand liquidity. Settlement time? 3 seconds. The old correspondent banking route? 3 to 5 days. Same ISO 222 messaging layer. Completely different settlement rail. That's the war. Because now banks see something they could not see before. If settlement does not evolve, the messaging upgrade was pointless. For the first time ever, ISO 222 makes blockchain settlement technically easy. No translation layers, messy integration, or outdated message formats. And among all blockchain options, XRP is uniquely positioned. It is neutral, fast, liquid, regulatory friendly, built for payments and already integrated into enterprise software that banks have tested. This is the quiet advantage nobody explains properly. XRP is not powerful because it is, quote, ISO compliant. XRP is powerful because it can plug into an ISO native world without friction. ISO 222 alone does not moon XRP. There is no go-live pump. No instant Lambo moment. No magical liquidity flip. But here's what does change. ISO 222 removes integration barriers. It modernizes the financial plumbing and unlocks real-time settlement rails, meaning a $10 million remittance can settle in 3 seconds instead of 3 days, saving $50,000 in liquidity costs per transaction. It supports central bank digital currencies and tokenized assets. It aligns with Ripple's architecture, and it forces banks to confront the fact that their settlement layer is still slow. ISO 222 did not make XRP the chosen one. ISO made the system compatible with what XRP already does. That's the real relationship, just architecture. ISO 222 did not pick a winner. It rewired the battlefield. It upgraded how the world talks about money, but now the world needs an asset that can actually move money at that speed. Swift upgraded its language. Blockchain will upgrade its actions. And XRP. XRP is one of the few assets built to settle value in the world. ISO 222 just unlocked. Not because it is an ISO coin, but because the XRP ledger ecosystem was built for the future that ISO makes possible. If this finally made ISO 222 make sense in a way the crypto hype never could, hit that like button so YouTube pushes this to the thousands of people still thinking XRP is ISO certified. Let's fix the narrative. And if you want the next layer, how CBDCs, stablecoins, and tokenized assets plug into this same ISO ecosystem, tell me in the comments. Now that ISO 222 is mandatory worldwide, who wins the settlement war? Comment XRP if neutral bridge assets take over. Comment Swift if the old guard still has fight left. Comment CBDC if you think governments will bulldoze both. I'll feature the smartest takes in the next video.